Hello students, how are you all? Hope so you all are fine. So kids, in our last video, I told you that today we will be going to see the recap of our chapter 3. So let's start with that. So this chapter is about the animal world. Here we learn so many things relevant to this, right? First we'll focus on the feeding habit of the animals, right? So the animals were categorized into three group. First one is the plant-eating animals, flesh-eating animals, and the plant and the flesh-eating animals. Animals, those animals who eat plants and the plants product were called as an herbivorous animals. Just take an example: cow, deer, buffalo, etc. When you look into the cow, it eat the products which are coming from the plants, right? Now plants and the plants product. Clear? While coming to the another group category, that is the flesh eating animals. Animals those hunt other animals and eat their flesh were called as an carnivorous animals. Clear? The very good example is the lion, tiger, etc. Now coming to the third category, that is the animals those who are all eating both the thing, that is the plants as well as the flesh. Though they were all named as an omnivorous animals. The best example is ourselves. We are eating the animal product as well as we are eating the plants. Clear what I mean to say? We are drinking milk, curd and all the products which we are getting from the animals. So we are the example for the omnivorous animals. Clear? Another example is the ant. You can take. They also eat the insect. That means flesh, and the other thing they eat the grains also. Clear? Now, second we going to see about the how animals eat. Now tell me how we eat. We eat with the help of our teeth. Similarly, animals also eat with the help of the teeth. So kids, the structure of the teeth, that is the design of the teeth and the mouth parts were arranged according to the food they consume. Take an example, lion. Lion, what they eat, they hunt the other animals and they eat the flesh and meat of it. So that's why the lion having a sharp and pointed teeth. Well, coming to the example of the like cow, horse and all, they used to eat the plants product. So that teeth were no, there were no requirement for the sharp and pointed teeth. They were all having the flat teeth. Clear what I mean to say? And you know what the animals do, the cow, horse and all do? They swallow the food inside. After some time, they bring back the food from the stomach and they keep on chewing it. This process is called as an chewing the cud. Clear what I mean to say? Or rumination. Now then we learned about the another example is the rabbit. When you look into the rabbit, what they do, they break the nuts and all into a very smaller pieces, very small, very tiny pieces, then they consume it. So that teeth, you can see the front teeth, it will be very sharp. So it's, they gnaw the food. Understood? And looking into the snake, what the snake do, they does not have any teeth, they swallow the food. So there is no requirement of the teeth in the point of the snake. And when you look into the animals drinking the liquids and all, like you can take an example of dog and cat, they used to drink the milk and water. How they drink? They use their tongue to drink it. So such kind of drinking the liquid is known as a lapping. So here the structure of the teeth and the mouth parts were designed according to the food they consume. Understood what I said? Well, this there are some other examples also. When you look into the butterfly, they suck the nectar, so they're having a long tube which is attached to the mouth. Mosquito also having a long pointed tube like mouth. Elephant having a trunk to like put the food into their mouth. Lizard having a long sticky tongue to catch the insects. So like that there were some other animals also where the mouth parts were arranged according to the food they consume. Understood what I said? Okay. Now we're going to learn. Then we learned about the food chain. So kids, we know that each and every animals will depend on each other. Let me give you an example. When you look into the lion, what happens? The lion, what they do? They hunt the other animals and they eat it, right? Just an example, the lion eat deer. Okay. Now, what the deer will eat? They eat the products which are coming from the plant. So, in short, if there were no plant, then deer won't exist. When there were no deer, what happened? Lion cannot live. So, in short, animals were indirectly depend on the plants. So, kids, the food chain starts from the plant. Food chain starts from the plant. Clear what I mean to say? Understood? Now, these animals and plants were depend on each other. I'll tell you how. Animals get their food from the plants. It is true or not, as we have learned. When plants make their own food and they give out the oxygen, that oxygen is taken by the animals and they give out the carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide is used by the plant for preparing that food. Clear what I mean to say? So trees, when you look into the trees, they were all the homes for many animals and birds. Understood what I said? Well, now coming to now we have the next thing which we have learned in this chapter is the domestic animals as well as the wild animals. Now kids, you know the word itself, wild, it means they were very dangerous. They used to live, the animals which live in jungle and they search for food were called as in wild animals. In Discovery Channel you might have seen right now animals living in jungle, lion, deer, etc. were the examples. Domestic animals are those animals which live with us, so we have to feed them, we have to take care of them, we have to, how we are taking a proper food for our good health. Animals also, we have to give a good food for the animals. How we take care of ourselves clean and neat, animals should also taken care in that way. How when we are sick we used to go to the doctor, similarly when animals were sick we have to take them to the doctor. The doctor who treats animals were called as a veterinary doctor. Understood what I said? One important message I want to share with you here, it is about the deforestation. Deforestation is nothing else a rapid cutting down and the clearing of forest. There are many people who clear the forest, who cut down the trees for any reasons, like for making furnitures or for making papers. So that is not good. We are clearing, the people were clearing the forest. That process is called as a deforestation. It should not be done because it destroys the home of animals that live in the forest and on trees. There are many animals in forest. As I said you, we people are interdependent on each other. So if we destroy the plants and trees, what happened? The plant and trees were the home for many animals, right? So we are going to destroy the animals indirectly. Clear? So this deforestation should be avoided. What we have to do, whenever our birthday comes, we have to plant a tree. We have to give a proper watering. Should avoid cutting down of trees and plants. Understood? Clear what I said? So here is one small video clip which I want to show you. Understood? With that video clip, in that video clip you will learn about the pattern of teeth as well as about the dependency. Clear? Please watch this video.
Interdependence of plants and animals. Plants and animals are dependent on each other in many ways. The areas of interdependence of plants and animals are food, exchange of gases, reproduction, and shelter. Let us look into each area of interdependence in detail. Plants manufacture their own food in the presence of sunlight. Animals like the cow, deer, zebra, elephant, giraffe, and rabbit eat grass, small plants, and leaves of trees. Insects like grasshoppers and caterpillars feed on leaves. Birds feed on fruits of plants and bees on nectar. Animals that feed only on plant materials are called herbivores. they directly depend on plants for their food. Carnivorous animals feed on other animals. Even they indirectly depend on plants for food. Animals depend directly or indirectly on plants for their food, and in turn, the dung that these animals produce serves as manure for the plant. So plants and animals are interdependent for food and nutrition. Plants prepare their own food during the day by a process called photosynthesis. During this process, they use carbon dioxide from the air and give out oxygen into the air. The animals use oxygen present in the air and breathe out carbon dioxide. So plants depend on animals for carbon dioxide and animals depend on plants for oxygen. Insects like bees, wasps and butterflies visit flowers to feed on the nectar. When the insects visit the flowers, the pollen grains from the male part of the flowers stick to their wings, antennae and legs, and later get deposited on the female part of other flowers when the insects visit them. In this way, the insects get their food and help the plants in the process of pollination. Animals also help in the dispersal of seeds. Animals feed on fruits and grains. The undigested grains and seeds are expelled by them as waste. These seeds germinate to form new plants. Seeds which have hooks or spikes attach themselves to the fur of animals like bears as they pass by the plant. These seeds fall off the fur sometime later and germinate to grow into new plants. Animals like monkeys and squirrels eat the fruits and throw the seeds in different locations. As a result, plants grow across a wide area of land. Thus, animals feed on plants and then help in increasing their number too. Many animals make trees their homes. Most birds build nests on trees. Some small animals use the holes in the tree trunks as shelters. Monkeys, which are arboreal, not only spend most of their time on treetops, but also travel great distances, swinging from tree to tree. Bees build hives on the branches of trees. Ants and other insects seek shelter in crevices of trees. A single tree hosts a wide variety of life forms. Did you know that animals also make the soil fertile? Animals like earthworms that live in the soil help loosen the soil, thereby increasing the amount of air in the soil. Earthworms feed on all organic waste material found in the soil and convert it into nutrient-rich soil through a process called vermicomposting. This compost is very valuable for the growth of plants. Organisms like bacteria and fungi present in soil help to break down the decaying waste and dead bodies of animals and mix the nutrients present in the decaying waste and dead bodies with the soil to make it fertile. The interdependence of plants and animals can be clearly observed in a food chain. Food chain is a linear diagram that shows how living things in natural surroundings obtain food. All food chains begin with plants and end with carnivorous animals.
The feeding habits of animals. Based on the feeding habits of animals, they are classified into herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, parasites, and decomposers. Herbivores such as cow and deer eat only plants. They have sharp cutting teeth at the front for cutting the plants and flat, wide grinding teeth at the back of their jaw for chewing. Herbivorous birds such as sparrows and parrots eat berries, fruits and seeds. Carnivores such as tiger and wolf eat other animals. They have long and sharp teeth for tearing the flesh of animals and some grinding teeth for chewing. Carnivorous birds such as eagles have curved, pointed beaks to tear the flesh. Snakes do not have teeth for chewing. Instead, they have fangs that are used to inject the poison into the prey. Omnivores, such as bears and raccoons, eat both plants and animals. Omnivores have a combination of sharp front teeth and grinding teeth. Omnivores eat only parts of certain plants. Human beings too are omnivores, but they do not eat the flesh of all animals. Omnivorous birds, such as hummingbirds and robins, eat insects, rodents, seeds and fruits. Scavengers, such as jackals and vultures, eat dead animals and plants. In this way, they help to keep the environment clean. Scavengers such as crow and hyena can be either carnivorous or omnivorous. Decomposers such as bacteria, fungi, worms and snails break down the complex organic components in the remains of dead plants and animals and convert them into simpler substances. Like scavengers, decomposers too help to keep the environment clean. Parasites such as fleas live on or inside the bodies of the host. They usually harm the host by sucking the blood of the host. Tapeworms too are parasites. They feed on the food digested by the host. Thus, the need of food keeps all the animals together in an environment.
So kids, did you watch the video? Well, in that video you have learned about the pattern of the teeth, as well as you have saw how plants and animals depend on each other. Clear? Well kids, with this the chapter 3 gets over. In case if you have any doubt, make a note in your rough book. In our doubt clearing session we can clarify all those things. Till then, bye bye.